All right, good day, gents, and welcome to another episode of Father's Fire. My name's Jody Cedric, and every week we get together to explore the joys, the challenges, the triumphs, the sorrows, and yes, the fun of being a dad. And I tell you, this week has absolutely, man, I can't even speak. All right, there we go. Good day, gents, and welcome to another episode of Father's Fire. My name's Jody Cedric. And every week we get together to explore the joys, the challenges, the triumphs, the sorrows, and yes, the fun of being a dad. And I tell you, this week has been absolutely amazing. Not because of being a dad, but because Judie and I celebrated our 32nd wedding anniversary. We've actually been together 35 years, but officially as a wedded couple, we are 32 years in the making. And so that has led to a lot of discussions about how we've lasted so long, the joys, the challenges, and just the beauty of sharing your life with an absolutely amazing lady. And so I thought I would share some thoughts with you about that, because I believe the relationship that you have with your lady ripples across all other relationships in your family, especially with your children, and they're a reflection. Your relationship with her is a reflection on how everything else is impacted in your family, and it sets the tone on how your kids honor, love, and respect their mama. So before we get into that, I want to remind you that I'm part of the Speak Fire family, and want to also give a shout out to Julian Gibson from Boss Talk Nation, who is a huge supporter of the podcast. So I want to thank both of them and my crew for making all of this possible. So 32 years, I tell you, it has been absolutely amazing. Judie and I have really made it our goal, our intent, our purpose, our driving force to center our entire life around each other and our children. And it has really been a beautiful experience. I mean, yeah, we've had our ups and downs, but we've learned to work through each other's idiosyncrasies. We've learned how to love each other, because love does take learning, right? Learning what the other one appreciates, what they cherish, what annoys them. Because I think a lot of times we do things that annoy our significant others, and we don't really give it the weight that it is. And I'm not saying you have to change everything, but you do need to be considerate and, give deference to the things that make them happy. Because really what I've discovered of 32 years of marriage is that your number one priority is to make that lady feel like a queen. When you first started dating her, you did everything you could to prove that you were the one worthy of her heart, worthy of her time, worthy of her commitment to you for life. And somewhere along the line, sometimes we lose that pursuit. In fact, on Valentine's, Judie had seen a couple of posts from somebody that we are close to that recently got a divorce, and we were looking at all of the posts that person was posting and the previous posts leading up to that. And as we were talking about it, the question was brought up. It's like, wow, how do you think, I actually asked that, how do you think that makes the person that, the divorcee, how does it make that person feel seeing everything that this person is doing to nurture their new relationship? And she said, I actually talked to that person, and their response was, it's like, why couldn't that person invest in me the way they're doing in their new relationship? And that really got me thinking, because I think a lot of times we as men, especially early on in the relationship, we're doing everything that we can to prove that we are the one that she should trust in, confide in, to walk her life in. And we do everything we can to prove that we are the one that she should invest in. But once we get into the relationship, a couple years down the road, we start to get comfortable. We settle in, and we don't pursue that lady as much as we used to. We don't put the same effort, the emphasis on each other. And so I think it's really important. I mean, think about it, guys. When was the last time you bought your wife roses and it wasn't a special occasion? When was the last time that you wrote a little post-it note and put it on the fridge and says, I love you, or I think you're amazing, or thank you for doing XYZ, right? When is the last time you just did a little thing to show her that you loved her, that you appreciated her, that you saw that the impact that she was having on your home, on your children, on your relationship? Guys, we need to do a better job of making them feel appreciated, because part of the reasons often is that your relationship starts going stale is you don't make them feel appreciated. And I think that's really, really important. I think also we need to we need to reignite the passion, the fire, the determination for a date night. Guys, when's the last time you went on a date with your wife? And I'm not talking just going shopping. I mean, when was the last time you went on a date with your wife where you made the arrangements, where you said, you know what, we're going to go to dinner, we're going to go to a movie, or you know what, we're going to do a picnic. I've made a basket. We got cheese and wine and bread and snacks and or whatever your significant other loves. And we're going to go to the park. We're going to the beach. We're going to go just spend some time together by the river or the mountains or wherever, and make a simple date where you just have some time to be together, to talk together, to walk together, to commiserate and celebrate, to, just visit. I mean, it's so, so important. When's the last time you packed her a treat? And I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like, my wife is really big into health and fitness, right? So sometimes when she goes and works out, she actually teaches 2 classes in a row. So often as she's getting ready, I will pre-pack her water and her Energize for that step in, that session in between the fitness groups of trainings. And even sometimes I'll put in a little protein bar, right? Something that she's not expecting. So I think it's really, really important, guys, that we reconnect, we reinvest continually, daily, weekly, monthly into our relationship. And then all of a sudden, as you do that, it will reignite the fire and the passion in her for you. So don't let a day go by, a week go. I know it's easy to get caught up in bringing home the bacon. A lot of you men go, yeah, but I go and I work all day, right? I had a great conversation with James Jackson a couple weeks ago. Go check out the episode. He said, it's easy for me to go, I know how to work. So it's easy for me to go put 60, 70 hours into a work week, and I'm supporting the family. I'm providing for them. But your family, your wife, your children, they need you to not only provide for them financially and food-wise and put a shelter over that, they need you to provide them with your heart. They need you to provide them your heart, your attention, your focus, your time, your honest caring for what they are doing in their life. Men, we need to do a better job. If you want a long-lasting relationship, you need to be fully committed. You need to continually be in hot pursuit of that lady of your dreams. Because if she is no longer the lady of your dreams, it's probably because you've neglected the pursuit. You've neglected making her feel special. You've neglected caring for her heart. So now it's time to step up. Now, my second story, when Judie and I, we went to San Diego for 3 days, had a phenomenal time. out on the beach, working out together, sleeping in together, going out to dinner, taking a walk along the boardwalk, and just visiting together. And it was phenomenal. And one evening we decided to take a walk down the boardwalk, and we weren't on the beach. We're actually on the boardwalk. We usually are on the beach. So this evening we were on the boardwalk. We were watching the skaters and the other people going back and forth. And we finally got to this place where they have this like roller coaster and stores and games and all that stuff. And it was closed down except for a couple of the shops. And as we were walking through there was a sweet shop. So big ice cream cones and bowls of ice cream. And dude's like, you know what I'd like? I'm like, yeah, I know. So we go there and we're debating whether or not we're going to share one or get one for each of us. And the only thing they had was a double scoop. So we're like, yeah, we'll share that. That's a little bit much. So Judie and I, we got our double scoop of ice cream, and we're sitting outside of the sweet shop, and we're doing the typical stereotypical lovey-dovey photo shoot where Judie put up her camera, and Judie and I are, we have a spoon of ice cream in each one of our hands, and we're feeding each other and posing. Really cute, yeah, I know, lovey-dovey. That's what you got to do, though. You got to invest that lovey-dovey, sweet, romantic stuff into your life. And so we were taking this picture, and there was two ladies just right next to us, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are so sweet," and what are you guys doing? Are you on a hot date? And Judy's like, oh no, we're out celebrating our 32nd wedding anniversary. She's like, there's no way you guys have been married 32 years. She goes, how old are you? And she's talking to Judy. And she's like, you can't be over, 35. She's like, oh no, I'm 50. She's like, how old's your husband? And I'm like, Judy's like, well, I'm 55. And she's like, man, I need a sugar daddy like that. I'm like, no. My wife really is 52 and I'm 55. She goes, no way, I can't believe you guys are that. She's like, man, she goes, you look great too. She goes, what do you do with your skin? I'm like, I just spend time in the sun and I smile a lot. She goes, man, she goes, seriously, do you have a friend that could be a sugar daddy? She goes, I don't care if he looks good. I just want him to be a good man. Because like my mom always says, it's less about what's on the outside. It's more on the inside. And I could really use a sugar daddy if you've been married 32 years. So it was really, really fun to have this conversation with her. And it made me really think about, that there are a lot of women that are yearning to have a good man in their life. They're yearning to find a guy, and he doesn't have to be the typical sugar daddy with all the cash and the money and all that stuff. He just needs to be a man that's invested in the lady of his dreams, that's going to do silly romantic things, that's going to make her feel special, that's going to work hard for her, that's going to make time for her, that's going to take her on a date, that's going to take her on walks and do picnics. Guys, I'm telling you, the secret to 32 years is not that complicated. It really comes down to really, really simple things. Investing time in each other, caring for each other, loving each other, serving each other, forgiving each other. Because sometimes we have a tendency to hold on to a really little thing that's really not that important, and we allow it to fester in our heart and in our soul, and it festers our relationship instead of just forgiving and going, you know what, it's not that big a deal. This week on Facebook, I actually saw a post that somebody asked, how long is the honeymoon phase? My response, it's been 32 years and it's still going. My honeymoon phase has been 32 years and it's still going. So men, why are you allowing your honeymoon phase of your relationship to decay and rot? Because of your negligence of not investing in the relationship in a way that you should. Man, The way that you treat your wife is a true reflection of what you really value in your life. If you want 32 years, if you want 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, it really does come down to simple things. And what I found, this is my experience, so you can debate it or you can embrace it. But my experience, building a relationship for 32 years, yes, it takes patience, takes kindness, takes love, takes long suffering. It takes willingness to grow. Notice, I didn't say willingness to change, because I think a lot of us, we view change and we get all defensive and go, what? I don't need to change. I'm a good guy. No, what you need to do is you need to grow. You need to become better. You need to become the man that God intended you to be. You need to become the man that your wife sees in you. And you also need to become the man that she sees that you will become, the possibility. And I often tell my kids and other people, it's like, look, what I'm becoming for us. Because the true intent of being married to your lady is to become one in purpose, one in heart, in motivation and intent. And when you can really put aside those petty things, because they truly are, if you're honest, they're really petty things that are holding your relationship from really blossoming and becoming one. So don't fight against the little silly romantic things that maybe make you feel a little comfortable. Maybe they're the typical feminine things, like going and getting a pedicure or manicure with your wife, or letting your daughters do makeup on you. Guys, it's all about the connection. It's all about the connection. Put aside that male chauvinistic stereotypes that are holding you back from truly connecting with your beautiful wife, with your kids, with your daughters, with your sons. And let's become men that have a heart. Not just men that have strong shoulders and strong backs, but let's be men that have strong hearts, that connect with our kids, that connect with our wives, and that when dad walks out of the home, they know that wherever he is, whoever he talks to, that lady is the center of his heart. And he's not flirting. He's not doing anything that would ever put a question mark on how his relationship is with the lady in his life and with his children. Guys, you can have 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. My parents, they were almost 50 when my dad died. Guys, we can do this. We can do this. But you got to remember that you're in the honeymoon phase. You're continually earning and learning and growing and pursuing that lady and proving that you are the man of her dreams. Because I tell you, I'm working every day to show Judie that I am worthy of her trust, of her love, and I am becoming the man that she always thought I would be, and the man that honestly I'm hoping I will become, and the man that I am. You guys, thank you so much for taking the time to visit with me. I hope this has been helpful for you. It really, really is simple. But I tell you, man, the greatest joy you will have is by truly connecting with that beautiful lady. You guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for joining me. We will check you same time, same bat channel, just next week, right here on Father's Fire. See ya!